Happy Holi everyone and welcome to yet another edition of Meet the Expert session on DigiNekt. Through these sessions, we attempt to leverage the knowledge of experts for your benefit. These sessions are hosted by our evangelist Sangeeta Kumar, Senior VP at GMR Web Team. It is said that a show is as good as its host. Sangeeta leverages her 15 plus years in digital marketing to ask insightful questions which brings out the best in the experts. Today, as an expert, we have Priya Florence Shah on our show. So let's get started with it.
The next episode on Meet the Expert. Today
Hi,
we have
Sangeeta.
with us Priya Florence Shah. Priya Florence Shah wears many hats. She's a digital marketeer. She's a consultant. She's an author. She's a blogger. She's a podcaster. But above all, she's a work from home career coach. Recently, Priya Florence Shah was voted as one of the most followed digital marketeers in India. And today we are here to talk to her on work from home opportunities, particularly in digital marketing. So Priya, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sangeeta. I'm very honored to be here. I'm very happy to be here.
So you wear so many hats, Priya. How do you manage it?
Actually, that's because I'm what you would call a multi-passionate person. Okay, I have lots of passions, but most of them have to do with creating content in one form or another, right? Author, blogger, podcaster. But it's all about creating content and different forms of content. And that's how I got into digital marketing, from content creation. So
where do you blog, Priya?
I blog on, I have a travel blog as well as a blog called nari.com, which I've been blogging on since 2007, off and on.
Wow.
Yeah, that's like, but I really need to give it a little more love now because I've not been blogging very I would say consistently on that blog. Sometimes, I mean, when you have an agency, a digital marketing agency, that takes up a lot of your time, client work and all that.
You're so right.
Time.
I mean,
Yeah,
writing content is always a challenge for the marketeer, especially.
Yes. And you're working more on your client content than on your own content. So I would say that sometimes takes priority. So, okay.
So tell us, Priya, work when you're working from home, especially if you're a woman and you're working from home, you're not taking seriously, and people think work from home is too easy. So
that's one of the challenges. That's one of the challenges of working from home. I write about that in my course. I have a working from home course. So that's one of the chapters I have. One of the advantages of working from home. Then the longer chapter is the disadvantages of working from home. And one of the points, like you mentioned, is that people don't take you seriously, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, they tend not to take you seriously because they think, oh, she's working from home. That means she's just doing time pass. She's not serious about it and all, which is absolutely not true. Because although I chose to work from home when my child was born, I'm very serious about it. I used to work with her sleeping in my lap sometimes and work 18 hours days, So, because if you want to get started, if you want to start out as a freelancer, want to start your own business from home or your agency from home, you have to absolutely put in the work. Just because you're working from home doesn't mean it's an easy task, okay? And also, it doesn't mean that you can just get away with not having any skills at all. Yes, there are jobs like, typing jobs and clicking jobs and this, but you're not going to earn much from them. You're going to barely earn enough for a couple of meals or something like that, depending on how much time you invest. So, I get lots of women, lots of interest. There's a lot of interest in easy jobs from home. Okay? Lots of women have this interest in that I want to do data entry, I want to do typing jobs, I want to do clicking jobs, which is actually not going to give you the kind of any kind of income, and it's actually much harder than you think it is. You think that it's easy, it's not.
Yeah, work from home has many distractions. You have to focus both on your home, and people are coming and going typically, especially in an Indian household. So how do you discipline yourself and set the timings? Is any hints on that?
Yeah, actually, it depends on your own work. Your work schedule. What is the best time for you to work? For instance, your children may be going to school at a certain time. So the best time for you might be when they're gone out of the house. right?
Right.
Because that's a quiet, you need quiet time.
Yes.
Okay, you need quiet time to work. Also, you could, if you have a maid or you have other people at home to take care of your kids, you can create a little home office. If you have an extra room or whatever, create a home office, shut the door, and make sure that you get quiet time without distractions. Because some work requires absolutely no distractions, like writing work, for instance. When I'm writing, I do not want distractions, because I need to focus on that and
Right.
concentrate. So you have to carve out some time for yourself, some time without distractions. Best time to do it is when the children are either sleeping or at school. That's what I feel. So, but it's different for everyone. If you have people to help out at home, that makes it much easier.
So tell us, Priya, I mean, like you wrote a book recently on work from home. What was its, what is it?
Actually, I wrote a couple of books, but
Okay.
what I did was, instead of writing a book, because actually if you write a book and give it away free, no one values it.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone thinks that, okay, the free PDF and all, they download it and they don't even implement those things. And so you're not actually helping them. So what I decided is that I'll take that book, I'll create a more comprehensive work from home course.
Right.
And then I'll offer coaching services, because I realized that women don't necessarily just want a course or information. They want help to know what kind of work from home job is right for them, first of all.
Okay.
Okay, and that also depends on their skills, the skills they currently have, and the skills that they are willing to develop. Because working from home is not just about sitting and doing data entry or this and that. Sometimes you have to develop new skills, especially if you've been out of the workforce for a long period of time, right? And
Right.
you never work. You're a housewife who has never taken up a job. You have to develop new skills. So it's not enough to just sit down and say, I will get a job. You're not going to get a job if you don't have some skills. You have to have some skills. Now, if say for instance you're a professional career woman who has taken a break because of her kids, it's much easier for you to get a work from home job, because you already have some skills. And once your kids are a little older or whatever, or they are in their ones or twos or whatever, you can take up a job from home, or you can ask your former company for a work from home, a work from home option, which many companies are willing to do for talented employees.
So tell us,
There are
Priya, is it possible like to earn the same amount that you were working at the company? Is it possible to earn the same amount if you're working from home? And
maybe not, but that's a compromise you have to make, because you're also, if you want to be with your kids and work from home, I'm not saying your productivity will not be good. Studies have shown that remote workers have better productivity than people who work in the office.
yeah,
The latest studies have shown that people who work from home are more productive than people who work from the office. Of course, it varies for different people. Everyone has a different standard of productivity. But the fact is that it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean you're going to be less productive. I know I am very productive working from home. I'm working all the time. All the time that I'm awake, I'm working. Because I love my work. But yeah, I'm crazy. I'm like obsessed about my work. So I'm always working. So the thing is that you have to decide how much you're willing to compromise, and you also have to negotiate with your company. You learn to negotiate a good deal with your company. And if you're a valuable employee, there's no reason why your company won't give you a work from home option.
So now, suppose somebody wants to work as a digital marketer, and I understand that there are a lot of opportunities to work from home in digital marketing because a lot of outsourcing is done to India. So, what skills would someone need to start a career in digital marketing?
I would suggest that first they do a basic course in digital marketing, because in order to understand concepts of digital marketing and all the jargon that's thrown around, you have to have at least some basic courses. I mean, you have to take at least a basic course, which is actually, you can take free courses online.
Yeah,
I
there's
just published
plenty
an
of
article.
free courses.
Yeah, I just published an article on the digital marketing courses that you can do free online. So start with a free course, because what happens is, suppose you do a free course and then you find this is not what I want to do for the rest of my life, or this is not what I like doing. Then at least you've not lost any money and you haven't lost too much time in it. Okay, so do a free course, do a short course, see whether you like what the topic is all about, and then if you really like it, or you like one aspect of digital marketing like SEO or SEM or paid, or content writing, then you can go and focus on that and specialize in that, or social media or whatever. Then do a more comprehensive course and specialize in that. But in the beginning, do a basic digital marketing course just so that you understand the concepts of what marketing is, how to create lead generation funnels, how to, and what the role of all these aspects are, SEO, SEM, content, what role they play in the whole digital marketing spectrum. So that's what I recommend.
Great. And what are some of, when you're working from home, you see so many messages like work from home and earn 60,000 rupees a month, and, so are these genuine ads, and are really people making that kind of money?
See, I'll tell you one thing. When you see the problem with this work from home field is that there are lots of desperate women, who want to work from home, and when you have desperation, you will also have people who are willing to prey on that desperation, right? So there are lots of scammers. This kind of thing, work from home thing, attracts a lot of scammers who are selling get rich quick schemes. But the one thing that you have to realize is that if it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. Okay. So don't fall for the schemes that sound too good to be true. So if someone tells you work 2 hours a day and earn 60,000 rupees, it's not going to happen, because for that, in order to earn 60,000 rupees, you have to have certain skills. You have to have certain value to the market. You have to understand that in order to earn money, you have to provide value. Okay, you don't earn money just for doing time pass or whatever. And even if you do data entry, it is not that easy. Believe me, I've written about it on my blog. I've written about the stories of people who have done it and come and told me that this is not an easy job. What they're telling me to do is a full-time job. It's okay for a typist or someone who's experienced in it, but don't fall for the scams. And there are lots of scams which will ask you to pay money upfront, and then they make you sign a contract. They make you sign a very tight contract, and if you can't do the job, you won't get your money back. So don't fall for those things. Don't pay upfront money. Any legitimate job should not ask you to pay upfront money unless you're joining a job board that requires a membership. That's the only exception to the rule, I would say, because you're joining a job board. Say, for instance, there are a number of job boards out there that will require a monthly membership in order to get those jobs sent to you, on a monthly basis.
So are there any such job boards that you recommend?
Yeah, I've got quite a few. I've got a huge list of about 75 plus job boards in my work from home course. But the fact is that there are some Indian job boards like Flexiorg, FLEXIORG.com, and there's Get Me Expert is for experts who want to freelance and do work from home or work from anywhere jobs. But Flexiorg is one of the legitimate ones in India. I interviewed the founder of Flexiorg for my work from home course. That is a legitimate job board. So if you want to find legitimate jobs, go to a job board and also be very careful about the kind of job that you are applying for. Just because they are on a job board doesn't mean all of them are legitimate.
Okay.
Some of them scams. You have to be very careful, and you have to do your due diligence. That's the word I use, due diligence. Okay. So try to understand what they're about. If it sounds, like I said, it sounds too good to be true. If they're asking you to pay money up front, if they're asking you to sign any tight contracts that are tied to how much work you will put out, don't take up those jobs, because most of them are scams, and they will make you pay money knowing that you cannot fulfill those terms in the contract.
There's another thing, Priya, like sometimes you do a job and then you don't get paid for it. They say the job wasn't good enough. So how do you deal with situations like
there are clients like that, and in my early stages of my career, I did come across a couple of clients who did not pay me. So what you need to do is, I would say, initially when you were just starting out, it's very hard to ask for payment upfront, but you can ask for a 50% payment upfront. Okay. And the rest of it paid later. So I would suggest, even if you're starting out as a freelancer, ask for 50% of the payment upfront. Okay, always do that. Invoice them for half the payment, and then for the rest of the payment after after the job is completed. So at least you are ensured that you're paid for your efforts.
Great.
Right?
So your course, does it include the methods to invoice the clients and?
Well, I link to certain what do you say, Flexiorg, for instance.
Okay.
Flexiorg has a lot of resources on that site
Okay.
to help freelancers invoice. They are in fact trying to create an ecosystem to help freelancers, create invoicing systems and how understand how to operate a freelancing business, things like that. So those things are coming in slowly, and there are lots of sites which already offer that actually. So I don't recommend one site over another, but
Okay.
there are lots of sites which are already offering these kind of things for freelancers who they employ, invoicing systems.
So they take the country into account and they generate the taxes accordingly. So okay.
No, the taxes are something that you have to manage on your own.
Okay.
Always.
Okay.
As a freelancer, you have to be sure that you're compliant with your taxes.
Yeah.
So I would say that as soon as you start earning a certain amount and above a certain amount that requires GST, you get a GST number. I would say also say incorporate. File, create a company, either proprietorship or a one-person company or a LLC, LLP or whatever. Create a company so that you look more professional. Because as a freelancer operating under your own name, it doesn't look very professional. If you have a small little agency of your own or you have a name, the people take you more seriously also.
Okay. So
call yourself the CEO of your company, but I'm just saying people take you more seriously, right?
It kind of sounds professional when you have everything in place.
Yeah, and it tells people that you are serious about your business and that you're not just operating as a freelancer and it's like you're not here for a short time. If you've taken the trouble to incorporate a company or you've taken the trouble to create an entity, business entity, people know that you are here for the long run, right? So they're willing to give you work. They're more willing to give you work.
So, we come over sites where we hire freelancers in our agency, sites such as Zeers, where we hire, people for content writing and otherwise. So, should we develop skills to, like one of the great tips was don't come out as a freelancer, come out as a company, ready to look more professional. Anything else for, just the beginners who've started, who don't have the resources, how can you bootstrap yourself to become a good professional person?
It doesn't cost a lot of money to incorporate a company. It's very small thing. You can start a proprietorship or one-person company or something. It doesn't cost a lot of money. And frankly, I'll tell you something, if you're not willing to invest that much in yourself, then nobody's going to take you seriously anyway. Because people employ those or people invest in those who invest in themselves. Okay, so just remember that. That is a very important thing. As a freelancer, as a business person, people invest in you if you invest in yourself. And I'm not talking just in terms of creating a company, I'm talking in terms of being a lifelong learner. Invest in courses, keep your skills upgraded. Even as a content writer, it doesn't mean just because you can write good content that you're made for life, or you don't have to learn anything more. Even as a content writer, you have to learn how to run a business, how to be professional. There are lots of skills that come along with this, and you have to spend some time, effort, and sometimes money in taking courses and learning how to do these things. Learning how to
become a better professional and how to have this.
Absolutely. You have to be a professional. Don't take it as a time pass job because nobody will hire you, or they will pay you menial wages. They will not be willing to pay you more than a certain amount if you don't take yourself seriously. So I would say take yourself seriously. Create a business, create a company, or whichever entity you choose to create, and invest in yourself. At least 15% of what you earn, invest it back into doing courses to learn new things. Learn how to operate a business or grow your business, depending on what you prefer. You want to grow it, then spend some money learning how to grow a business, or spend some money learning how to be a better writer. Take some writing courses. Take an SEO copywriting course, so that will help you become a more specialized writer. And the more your skills, the better your skills, the more value you can add to your clients. And they are going to pay you better as a result.
So, to all of those listening out there, one of the invaluable tips from Priya is that you have to invest in yourself to get some investment, to get be more professional. And I think that if you talk to anyone who's worked from home, they're going to say the same things. Like you have to be professional. So, and I think one of the steps where being professional is like you have to be confident of the skill sets that you have. And I guess that comes out from, taking a course or being very good at what you do. And it's not only one skill, but it's the overall impression that you make on a client, especially when you're working from home as a freelancer.
Absolutely. There are certain things like even simple things like communicating with clients in an email, writing full sentences, not writing SMS speak in a professional business email. Write proper full sentences in your emails. Show that you're a professional. Don't write you and R and all that
Got it.
SMS
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
That's fine. That's fine when you're talking with friends, but when you're writing to a client, show that you're taking yourself seriously and taking them seriously also, and write like a professional. These are basic skills that you need to learn as a freelancer, if you want to operate as a freelancer or an agency owner.
Great. So, Priya, any challenges that women face? Like, I am a VP at a company, and I guess I was lucky that I had the support of all my male colleagues, and there were very few ego clashes because I can proudly say I was good at my job. So, yeah, but when I see some of my other colleagues, and like they do face it, they do face
Yeah.
challenges like that, especially. And one of the things that I find is that women don't market themselves as men do. Men are better marketeers of themselves. Women kind of get embarrassed to say, even if you run a very successful campaign, they give credit to the team and things like that. While you find the male colleague bragging, and I mean not all, but I found a considerable amount. So I understand it's a gender thing, how
It's a
men
gender
and
thing,
women
yes.
react to different situations. But even then, I think women should be marketing themselves a bit better, a bit more aggressively, and to make it to the top. So,
So
any suggestions like how do you do that? How do you create that balance where you take the team along? Because I have found totally every time, like any time that I tell my one of anybody, like like it's a great campaign, and she said, no, the team did a very good job. I said, yeah, really.
women don't like to take credit. We're taught not to take credit from the time we're kids, right?
Yeah.
Be nice, include everybody, be inclusive and stuff like that.
And this is just not about India, it's global. Like I worked with global teams everywhere, and I find very, very, very few women, like just bragging about what they did. Unlike yeah.
And taking pride in the fact that they achieved something or accomplished
Yes.
something, right? Just basic pride there. I mean, that you should be taking in yourself. So see, the first thing you have to do is change your mindset. This involves a bit of a mindset change, because in order to start feeling more confident in being able to promote yourself, you have to start seeing yourself as worthy of that praise. And a lot of the time, we have this lack of self-worth.
Yeah, we are more thankful for the place than thinking that we are worthy, right?
Yeah, really. I mean, and you have to believe that you're worthy of the praise, that you're worthy of the kudos or whatever whatever you've done, and take pride in your achievements. So like this is one big problem which even I had initially starting out. Now today, if someone gives me a compliment, I'll say thank you. I won't push it away. I won't say yes, but I did, but it was not me. But the but. You use the
Yeah,
but.
I know the but.
That you're pushing away the compliment. It's in a way being more accepting of abundance. The universe is giving you abundance. The universe is giving you a compliment. That means you're getting something positive. Don't push it away. Don't push away compliments. Don't push away positive statements, because the more you accept, you have to be able to not just give people, you have to be able to take also. Giving and taking is it needs that flow of energy. Okay, so you have to be able to take compliments as well as give them. So
Great.
become more accepting of compliments.
So,
Become
Priya,
more
what
accepting.
happens, that self-assured career woman, and once we become mothers, the attitude shifts and we suddenly become, lose self-confidence. So, how to get it back?
I think that has to do with changing roles, right?
Yeah,
Because
yes.
you're in this career woman role, and suddenly you're in the role of the mother, and you also feel that people see it's not just you. People also treat you differently. You know, as a mother, they also feel that her career is over, she's not going to be working, and you have to sometimes prove yourself all over again. You know,
Yeah.
you feel that you
Yes.
have to prove yourself all over again because as a mother now you have to teach people how to treat you seriously. Okay, and we basically teach people how to treat us. Okay, that's how everything, all assertiveness, everything comes from that. Teaching people how to treat you in the workplace, at home, wherever, with your children also. Even your children, you have to teach them how to treat you. If your children are being disrespectful towards you, you're not going to tolerate it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so don't tolerate it from other people also if they're putting you down or they are not being as respectful to you as they should be. So you have to learn to you don't have to prove yourself. If you've already proved yourself in the marketplace, if you've already proved yourself as a career person, know that you don't have to prove yourself all over again. All you have to do is continue from where you left off. Yes, you took a break for a couple of years because all mothers need that break, right? When we are taking care of our children, especially when they're very tiny. So, but after that, know that it helps if you keep in touch with your field in some way by reading up and staying in touch with it also helps. It helps your own
Yes.
confidence, not just your not just your colleagues. It doesn't only impress your colleagues, but it also helps your own confidence. What you can do is you can start maybe start a YouTube channel, start a blog. Share your expertise on your blog. That itself, sharing your expertise, getting feedback from other people, that itself, while you're working from home, that itself gives you a lot of confidence because when you get feedback from people and you know you're helping someone, believe me, it boosts your confidence like nothing else. So you don't have to wait for your colleagues to give it to you. You can go to the public. You can put it out on YouTube. Create a video. That.
So what you're telling me now, there was a book by Rashmi Bansal. It said "Woman Be a Man." So it's a very interesting book, and she said she was working. She moved with her spouse to Chennai, and then she was working from home as and
Yeah.
managing the Z channel.
Editors and magazine. Yes.
Yeah, and she has very hilarious instances like how women pull down women when they find like they are working from home and things like that.
It's very unfortunate actually,
Yeah.
because instead of pulling each other down, we should be putting each other up, we should be raising each other up. Especially as women, we understand the trials that other women go through. But for some reason, we have this whole sense of competition with other women. We don't have that with other men, right? We don't have
Right,
that
exactly.
with
That's
other women
yeah.
because that's a fake sense of scarcity that has been put into us that there can be only one woman in a certain position or only one woman at the top, which is not true. Okay, now there are lots of women. There are companies with 50% women in the board or whatever of that sort, and that's going to become more and more frequent. But we have to get rid of this scarcity mentality that comes from believing that there's only room for a few people at the top, for a few women at the top, which is not true. So instead of pulling other women down, try to let's see if you what I've learned from my mentors is if you want something, suppose you see a woman doing very well for herself. Now instead of putting her down like a crab, we have that crab mentality,
Yeah.
a crab in the bucket mentality,
Yeah.
putting down people. They're not letting them grow like just because we feel we feel insecure. They make us feel insecure. So instead of doing that, it takes a little bit of a mindset shift. Instead of feeling insecure, if you want to be that way, if you see someone who's a high achiever, and you say, "I wish I was like that," instead of being jealous and envious, whenever you're feeling jealous and envious, realize that it's because you want that. And so instead of being jealous, bless them. Okay, that's how the universe brings you more abundance
Wow.
by blessing them. So you bless what you want, what you aim for, what you're aiming for in life. If you see someone doing better than you, bless them because then you will attract that to yourself. I'm a little bit of a woo-woo thing. it's more metaphysical than simple. I believe this, and my mentors have taught me this. So, and I love that. I love the fact that you bless other people rather than pulling them down and criticizing them and bitching about them and stuff like that. Say, wow, that you're doing a fantastic job, and give them a compliment because that brings more of the good stuff to you. So,
Yeah, that does. Definitely
no,
does.
that's what I think women need to do. Women need to do that to other women.
Yeah, we
Don't
need to do that.
pull them up. Pull them up. Don't pull each other down. Be sisters. It's a sisterhood, and we need to really push each other up and and pull up the other women who need help, or who need support. So that's what I would advocate.
So, coming back to digital marketing as a career for women, and it's quite a good career because it pays well even if you're working from home. You can have a wide variety. There's so many channels. You can specialize in whatever channel. Like if you have logical mindset, you can become a paid search expert and analyst. If you have that communication skill, you can go into social media. If you love writing, I mean, if you love even animation, you can pick up anything. So this is such a vast, vast field.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
one of the natural instincts of women is to emphasize or empathize with their audience.
That's
So
right.
when you're empathizing with the audience, your tone and everything changes, and and that is the reason that I mean there are quite a few successful campaigns, and then the good women are naturally good communicators, so they're very active on social media. And digital marketing, even today, gets paid quite well when you're working from home. So I have a question here, and this question is asked to me by a lot of my engineer friends who say, they have been into software building and developing, and when they become moms, they suddenly realize they cannot put up with the rigorous schedule of development, and they all ask me like, can I become a digital marketer? So I really don't know what to tell them. So I'm associated with a website called DMIO, and there's a test on that website. I say go and give that test and find if you have the skills or not. And you mentioned like take a free course and first find if you're interested or not, and then go
Yeah,
into it. Yeah.
yeah.
So tell me, Priya, is this the right kind of advice to give? Because I am not sure like an engineer can make a good digital marketer or whatever.
Why not? If you have engineers have an analytical mind, right?
Yeah.
And actually I think engineers can make excellent digital marketers because they can apply the analytical mind to the data. So go and
Yes.
maybe you might be, but I'll tell you one thing. I dread to kind of label people and slot them into all these things just because you're an engineer, you can't do this. I have seen my engineer friends who are doing things like wedding planning and event planning and creative things, and art. So why can't an engineer be a creative person? They are. After all, software is also creative activity, right? You're creating
Yeah, and
something.
I mean, like a lot of SEO can be done, if you are a software developer,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So, and website design requires programming.
Yes,
Website development requires programming. So, in fact, we need software developers to come to digital marketing and lend their expertise to create more applications that might be useful to digital marketers. So, bring your software expertise and learn and figure out how you can use that expertise to make the lives of digital marketers easier. And you might provide a solution to us to maybe solve the problems of digital marketing. So I absolutely believe that we should have a multidisciplinary approach to this kind of thing. And someone from another discipline can actually provide a very good perspective in our field. Someone coming in from a different field can provide a different perspective. So absolutely I don't believe in slotting people or labeling them and all. And I think people from very many disciplines can come to digital marketing because we need graphic designers who are basically artists. So we need
yeah,
artists in digital marketing today, and we need videographers. We need all kinds of people, script writers
great.
for the video. So all kinds of people can be in digital marketing today. It's a very vast field.
Yeah, so today we come to the end of our interview with Priya Florence Shah. As we said in the beginning, she's a work from home career coach, and she guides you step by step on all the aspects that are required to make you a good professional who can work from home. And whatever skill you select, and she has a recommendation that I really appreciate, where she says that don't go in for the small skills, develop the big skills and get paid well.
Absolutely.
And Priya has her website at nari.com. It's N-A-R-E-E. N-A-R-E-E, nari.com. And yeah, you'll find that in our transcripts too, and we link to that to help you. So today we talked on a lot of issues, particularly women face in, as you know, a work from home career, because men generally don't opt to work from home. Though now I do see the trend changing a bit, where they can freelance and they enjoy the comforts of working from home. Plus, some men are more actively involved in raising their kids, and they prefer to become a stay-at-home parent with changing roles. So, work from home is not limited to women, but women are more caring for their kids, and they give up their career very easily. So, we think that, yeah, I mean, like, there should be an option to them to work from home. I think I have been working from home for the last 15 years. And I mean, at that time when I started, work from home was really unknown. It's known now. And then, yeah. So when I started, it was like, how can you? I was based elsewhere, my team was elsewhere, and everybody used to ask me, like, how do you manage a team? I don't know how I did it. Even today, I don't know how I did it. And like a typical woman, I would say it was my team that managed me rather than I managed
all the credit to your team, right?
Yeah, I have I mean, like, that team has stuck around with me. Quite a lot of those people have stuck around with me for all these years, and so today we have a great team. We are doing great things. So, digital marketing, like I am a political science graduate. I wanted to become something else. I came into digital marketing all by chance. I was working for a copywriter, and he wanted to, he said, like, make me more popular. And I said, how do you make a person popular? And at that time, SEO was something very new. And I said, you can blog to become an SEO, like to come up in search if anybody is becoming a copywriter. So my client was in Canada, and I was at that time in India. And this is how I started my work from home. And once I started doing well, he started giving me more work. He introduced me to referrals is a big part of work from home, where you do a good job, and somebody takes your. So Priya, anybody working from home, go to nari.com, check out with Priya. If you don't have the skills, do you do personal consultation, Priya?
Yes, I have a coaching program also, because I realized that having a course is not enough, so I do coaching also.
Great.
I do for one-on-one coaching.
Oh, great. So anybody willing, anybody thinking? So I think today was it was a very insightful interview, particularly for women, where, we get caught into frauds. We don't know what to do when we're not paid by a client. So when you have to understand, get into the handles of this, and every work from home experience need not be a bad experience. But one thing I think and I think Priya would also agree with me, is that you need to have the discipline. When you're working from home, you have to be disciplined. Like, even if you're working, till late at night, you have to get up in the morning to see off your kids, and you're doing that because you're staying at home because of them only. But that doesn't mean you say, okay, now my kids are gone, now let me catch up on that sleep. You have to make that disciplined time where you use that period to complete your work and do better work. So having a better timeline is really, really important. So thank you so much, Priya. We hope to see you again around soon. Thank you for the interview.